Hi Revivers, Dr. Lin here. I've got a bunch of tape. What are we going to do with all these? Are they created equally? So we're going to answer those questions next. Alright, so right here I've got a little roll of Kinesiotape, or Kinesiotex. I believe, there's all kinds of names for it. There's rock tape, Spartan tape, K-tape, whatever you want to call it. It's something that stretches. Now, I believe the superior product, because of how it's arranged, originated from a Japanese innovator, Kenzo Case. So I'm going to give him a shout out because I believe, and we at Rehab and Revive support this type of tape most. Most of them don't stick as well. I just, I don't find that they stick as well. This sticks for about 2 to 3 days. And the whole goal is, because it has so much give and stretch, you don't want to necessarily stretch it all the way. So there's some give, and you want to do a little bit of stretch. I always say about 25%, and we're going to show that in a clip. But what's really important about this tape is that depending on how you tape it, if you want to go from the beginning of a muscle to the end of a muscle, that can do a couple things, facilitate motion. But if you want to not facilitate motion, let's say something's very guarded, you want to go from the opposite. You want to go from where the muscle ends all the way to the beginning, and that's great too. Also, like I said before, that this serves a great type of facilitation for swelling. We want to be able to reduce swelling, and we cut it a certain way. So you can make all these fancy designs to tape, and it looks cool, but you only need really about 2-3 strips. I think anything more than that is redundant and a waste of time. So let's go through a little further examination of the Kinesiotape. You can see the different textures here, the way they weave it. But the cool part about all this is, if you give it a good tear, you can see what makes Kinesiotex patented different. It's these waves, and they can help swelling. They can help give you a little bit more of that facilitation, or even inhibit muscles that have been guarding for too long. So basically going from the least stiffest to the stiffest. The next one is a little stiffer. We call this the athletic tape. You can get these everywhere, Dick's Sporting Goods. There's a little bit of give. It's a nice weave. You can tear it pretty easily, but I think the most important thing to understand is that there is some give to this, and it stretches over time. So it's pretty much like a one-time use type of thing. So it won't last very long. You can use it for a game, sports, give you some wrist stability, or even a little bit of ankle stability. So you can check that out. But on another same vein, some people use this as like hospitals use this type of tape. It's called Kendall tape. It's a little stiffer, but this kind of is the segue of the next type of tape we're going to talk about, that leukotape. So let's check that out in a minute. All right, so we got the athletic tape. You can see that there's less of a thread count over it if you feel it texturally, but you want to see that it's pretty, almost somewhat transparent. You can almost go through it. If you stick my finger, you can kind of see my finger. Here, you can see the color of my finger, right? So it's a little thinner, less protective, but it's easily accessible, and you can see how that thread count looks and the stickiness of it. It's not as sticky, so you use a lot of it, which wastes money and time. All right, so let's say you're having a wrist injury or something, and you can't, you don't want it to go back or something like that. So you can prevent it by just doing it. And this is cool because you can really do a lot of this taping yourself. The other ones might need a little help, but the cool thing is it's fast. You just go like that, and then as long as you're not choking off your circulation, that's the cool thing about it. It's the ease. And it has some strength, but like I said, really only a one-time use type of thing. I can't go back, here. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the tape that we use the most here. It's the coverall and the leukotape. The coverall saves your skin. The leukotape, I tell people this is the human duct tape. And this is a game changer. Either leukotape, they call it McConnell tape too. Whatever you want to, call it. It's basically human duct tape. I have way too much fun with this one because a lot of people need more stability than mobility here at Rehab and Revive. So you can see it's stiff, and it lasts. It lasts for 3, 4, 5 days if it's applied correctly. But it's very sticky stuff. It can actually rip your skin right off you. So that's why we want the extra underlying layer, which is kind of like this thin little layer to just put over so you can protect yourself. Now, what people used to use in our profession is the Kendall tape, and I'm going to show that. It's still a great tape for posture or holding, and just really kind of giving you a little bit of stiffness to remind you of something. And that's really what tape's there for, is to remind you that, hey, something's not right, but, here's a little bit of support. And so you can see this is pretty good, and it rips pretty easy. It's also sticky. So we'll talk about now the leukotape and the coverall. You can see this has a more finer thread count. Actually feels nicer on the skin. And so you want to take that, and you see how, this is harder to even open, and it's sticky. So, like I said, this is human duct tape. All in all, you just want to take a look at that. And there's no give. Good, but then you need to protect your skin with coverall. So this is how you're gonna do it. It's not too shabby. If you kind of open that up here, you can see that it's definitely sticky, but protects your skin as an underlying layer. This is probably one of the more original tapes that hospitals and therapists use for a long time. The Kendall tape, been around for a long time. It tears, which is nice. It's also sticky, but it has a shorter lifespan than the leukotape and coverall. Still great, and it sticks. You can see it takes a while, and it tears easily. So that's why hospitals love to use it, and we can use it for posture and even some stability things around the wrist. All right, so as you can tell, we got a lot of tape here at Rehab and Revive, but like I said, none of them are created equally, and you can use them for different benefits, but make sure you're using them the right way. We have more detail in our blog. We're going to post that below, so read about that, and I'll see you soon. If you like what we're doing, subscribe below, leave a like, any comments. I'm Dr. Lin. Remember, we heal smarter, not harder.